Valley of the Kings, hidden among the desert sands, nested in the cliffs on the west bank of the Nile at Luxor, formed over a millennia by rainfall and water runoff, and also the final resting place for some of Egypt's greatest pharaohs. Spread over 2 hectares, the eastern portion of the Valley of the Kings resembles a hand with splayed fingers. Towering over the valley in the south is the pyramidal peak of El Kern. Archaeologists believe that this natural feature influenced this choice of site for the royal tombs. Buried beneath the most barren cliffs in the desert are some of the most amazing archaeological finds known to man. There are 63 known tombs, 23 of which were carved for kings, and one tomb that stands above the rest in grandeur, KV-17, the burial chamber of Seti I. Giovanni Battista Belzoni. Having previously led a colorful life as a circus strongman, Belzoni left the circus with his wife Sarah to head to Egypt to work on a hydraulic engineering project. After the project was completed, Belzoni's stay was extended by Henry Salt, an English Egyptologist. Salt had hired Belzoni to help move a colossal statue from the Ramesseum to the British Museum. Having succumbed to the spell of ancient Egypt, Belzoni began his archaeological work in Egypt, including the clearing of Abu Simbel, exploring many ancient sites, and in 1817 discovering the final resting place of Seti I in the Valley of the Kings. Known to Egyptologists as KV-17, the tomb of Seti I is tucked away in a corner of the valley next to his son Ramses I. Seti's well-preserved tomb proves to be the longest in the valley at approximately 136 meters. Almost 450 feet carved into the rock cliffs of the valley, Seti's tomb has 4 key features: a corridor leading into the rock, a deep pit for protection, storerooms to house the royal treasure, and the most important room of all, the pharaoh's burial chamber. More important than the physical features were the wall paintings and carvings, which were the means that would help and guide the pharaoh safely to the afterworld. Aside from the spells, depictions of Ra in all his forms adorns a large wall leading into the chamber. Wall art dedicated to a god in the tomb of a pharaoh was common to help ensure the king's place in the afterlife. Although his tomb was well crafted and carefully planned as his eternal resting place, Seti I spent thousands of years resting elsewhere. In 1881, excavation in Deir el-Bahri led to the discovery of a mummy cache. Priests often rewrapped and hid mummified pharaohs elsewhere in Egypt to protect and preserve them. This particular mummy cache contained the mummified body of Seti I. Seti's body was extremely well preserved, and his body now rests in the Cairo Museum in Egypt. Seti's tomb is one of only 3 open to the public in the valley. His tomb is still being excavated and searched for hidden chambers and new corridors that may lead to new findings. Continuing exploration in the Valley of the Kings will lead to more knowledge about the lives and deaths of the great pharaohs of Egypt.
As a middle grades education major, I have observed that many students benefit greatly from visual presentations. As a result, I created a lesson plan for a project based off of the video you all just watched. The assignment is as follows. Each student is to create their own burial chamber. Students should fill it and decorate it to fit their personality. In addition, they must write a brief essay describing the items in their chamber and explain why each item was selected. In order to create your own burial chamber, you must simply gather a few materials, many of which are probably lying around your house. All you need is a box, sand, a wrapped doll or action figure, sandpaper, plastic jewels or treasures, doll furniture, small wooden containers, sand, printed hieroglyphs, and anything else you might wish to incorporate in your tomb. In order to demonstrate the simplicity of this project, Carrie's daughter helped construct the burial chamber. She helped in part to convey that this project is doable and suitable for children in the middle grades, specifically 6th grade through 8th grade. In addition to the burial chamber, I wrote a short sample essay describing the items that were placed in the tomb to incorporate thought, reflection, and writing into the project.